All right, what's up, gang? How you guys doing? I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Let's see if the camera is going to give us access today. It was giving us some issues earlier. After the stream, I'll work on it for tomorrow. I hope you guys had a wonderful day today. What a day in the markets. Janet Yellen, plain and simple, Janet Yellen came out and she said, y'all must have forgot about me. Stealing Powell's thunder. If you could, take this time right now. We'll get it over with. Please, we're trying to get to 15 likes. I know we can do it, guys. If you guys appreciate good content, if you guys appreciate everything that we do here, hit that like button, subscribe. That way someone else could find us that would like to be here. We trade live right here Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. I'm going to be getting to bed early. This week is getting ready to kick off. We're going to go through what happened today. We're going to go through my trades. We're going to go through what I think the Fed may or may not do. Okay? We are going to talk about a lesson today on how to be consistently profitable. I took a small loss today, which I also deviated from my plan. And once again, I told myself, this is the long. Just take it. What did I do? I did something else. It's okay. And what's funny is it's actually turning around right now, and we're going to cover that. Let's cover the day really quickly. The market's pretty much tech and just all across the board, guys, pretty green, right? Energy was flat, a little down, a little up. Energy was flat, and everything else for the most part green. Pay attention to biotechs, guys. They had a really nice day, right? BBIO up 5%. IMVT 2.8%. What else do we got here? Moderna, mRNA up just under 3%, 2.98% today. PCVX up 6.5%. CRSP, is that CRISPR? Up 7.8% today. Huge day today, guys. There were some real winners today. The market started off sluggish, so it was really easy to get a little caught off guard. Oh, Ziggy, you're good. What's up, man? Shout out to Ziggy. How you doing today, bro? I hope you had a great day, and that's right. Rockets, rockets, rockets. Man, I was a little patient. I came into this week, right? I would usually have an idea on what my days of the week are going to be like. What do I mean by that? According to the data, according to earnings, like we're in right now, we're in the heart of earnings season. And it's funny how we usually don't ever get, I've said this, we don't usually ever get this many, big, the mega cap names all bunched together, but we do, we have it. So it feels like it's just going to come and it's going to go. So with that said, it was just today going into over the weekend, and I'm planning my week, right? I'm just like seeing who's reporting, seeing when the data is. So I already thought to myself, Tuesday, but like Monday and Tuesday, right? Because you have AMD earnings tomorrow night, and we'll cover those. And we'll cover the earnings call too, if you guys would like. It's really important to know, especially if you guys are actually investing and buying assets and buying these companies. And if you don't, you probably should. Maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. I don't know your financial advice, or I can't give you financial advice. You got to talk to a financial advisor. You got to be able to manage your, you do buy here in the markets. You got to listen to earnings calls. You got to be able to know how to direct yourself in the markets, even on a trading basis and an investing basis. You got to understand the math and how the game works. So with that said, again, I can't tell you to invest, but it is important if you are investing to just take the time to listen to some earnings calls. The balance sheet is one thing. It's good to know the overall health of the company you are investing in, or the companies, right? And seeing what they are growing in the sentiment, right? Because right now we're in a period of, coming into what's supposed to be contraction, and we're seeing the contraction. We've been seeing it in the data. We're seeing it more with layoffs. Again, we got another round of layoffs through American Airlines. They're laying off right around 600 and just under 700 employees, all right? Because they are contracting. The economy is quote unquote contracting. So please don't do yourself a disservice by not listening to earnings calls if you own some of these companies. I know it's not that big of a deal, but a lot of times it may not be, but times like now, you want to see how that company is going to direct themselves going into what could be an uncertain time. How do they fit? Are they a leader? Are they a laggard? Okay. Or like, for instance, are they, if you're owning a semiconductor, are they an NVIDIA or are they a Qualcomm or are they a Texas Instrument? Okay. Because one may or may not do better than the other. Or the sector could be going up and you're lagging. So, it takes work, but you guys can do it. All right. I didn't know, you don't, this is something that you don't need an Ivy League degree. That's the reason why I named this the Ivy League Trading. That's why I named this group Ivy League Trading, because you don't need an Ivy League degree. Kind of funny, right? But again, do us a solid, guys. I have a lot of changes coming. Okay. There's going to be a lot of changes coming instead of these lives. So I'm going to do some lives and I'm going to have some edited videos that I can really put out and give you guys some good solid stuff so you guys can, and myself, right? It's not just me, or it's not just you guys, but myself, right? So we can stay on track and follow the roadmap so that we can weather bad times, right? We may just be off from the direction of the market, or the market's trading sideways and we're just fighting and just scratching and clawing, and understanding how you can minimize your risk. Like I did today, I took a small loss. I deviated from my plan. Last night, I told you guys long Apple. It was pulling back to the 50-day. It cracked the 50-day. So I waited for it to get back up there. I went short. I didn't take profits on the extension because I had time. Not because I had time, but I was giving it the room that it needed. So it ended up rallying, right, with the market. That's okay. So what I did was, and I'm going to go over this. We'll go over it when I go over to it. It'll be in just a couple minutes. So I already stated Janet Yellen, right? They released quarterly borrowing estimates of $202 billion net borrowing from April to June. U.S. cuts January to March borrowing estimates of $760 billion from $816 billion. Janet steals the show again. Again, I urge you guys, if you could just do us a solid. It only takes one click. Just hit that like button, subscribe. We get to our 1,000 subscribers. I'm done. I don't have to say it anymore. I appreciate all of you guys, and I hope you guys had a great day. If you didn't have a good day, if you were down, if you're just, whatever was wrong, please go back. Only you are going to know how you felt. You're only the one that's going to know yourself what you thought a stock was going to do. Why were you in that sector? Were you impatient? Were you too impatient? Or did you need to be a little bit more patient? What was it? Did it just not do what you thought it was going to do? Did you not be like me and say, all right, we have this, 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 and this on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I probably won't be doing much Monday and Tuesday unless we get that news, which I deviated to. My plan was I didn't deviate from it, but SoFi, right? That was on the list. SoFi, and just whatever little news I could scoop up to, put on some risk and allow myself to put myself in a position that I can be profitable and then carry that also into the trades later in the week. Cause that's really where I'm going to be, hopefully pushing the pedal. Cause I want, I'm really shooting for a triple digit gain this week. Can I do it? We finna find out, y'all. We finna find out. All right. American Airlines again, 656 workers laid off. Hong Kong, big news. This isn't why I don't think, but PDD was down almost 9%, 8.2% today. Big move. So if you could kind of be in the right places, maybe you can set your alerts up that you have some of these names in, and maybe you can set it to where you see that divergence early in the morning or like the first half hour to an hour in the day when you have like your list. Let's just go to like Thinkorswim, right? You see over here on the left hand side, maybe you could have it to where you can say, I want the biggest winners and losers to show up on top. There's screeners, right? You want to be able to locate these stocks. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it, unless you just hang out with your handful of stocks and you're trading them intraday. I want to hurry up. And again, guys, the reason I talk fast is because I try to get these videos and get right to the point and push it out, because I'm not loading up a bunch of videos on my computer, and you guys know the file sizes are big, and I'm not tearing my stuff up like that. These SSD cards should be in very soon. Yeah, man. What is this? 50. Let's go, baby. Why not? Yo, even if you get half to that, here's the thing, Ziggy. It may seem crazy to other people. It probably is, but it doesn't matter, because you know what? If you don't set that bar so high enough that you can't reach it, at least half of what you're saying is true. You got 25, or even if you get to 10, even if you get to 1,000, 10,000, you set that bar. And I love it. I love that. But you got, we can all also have real expectations. But again, like, 10x it, right? You know what? You want to make $1,000,000, make it 10. Even if you achieve half of it, a quarter of it, you've exceeded your expectations. That's the way to go about life. That's how I have always went about life. And you can only get better by being around people that are better than you. That's a fact. I learned that skateboarding when I was a kid. That's all I did. I grew up, I eat, slept, and breathed it. Editing videos and just, being on a skate team. And, that was the only way to get better, is by being around people that are better than you and learning from them. And, you guys know what I'm getting at. All right, so China, Hong Kong court ordering liquidation of China Evergrande. This is not new. All right, there's been a big issue for anybody that even remotely has looked at some of the data. You guys think we have issues with the amount of money that we spend? Go have a look at China per capita. Q's ready for that handle formation. Yeah, we're going to check the Q's out. We're going right into charts, like right as soon as I'm done this. Oh, and guess what? This may or may not get me in trouble, but Ivy League Trading gave a price upgrade today. All right, this is a joke. Do not take this serious, please. This is a joke. Again, if you buy NVIDIA, it is because you purchased NVIDIA because you wanted to, not because you saw this video and you thought that we're giving out price targets. This is not an analyst price target. This is from us. So Ivy League Trading today we are giving NVIDIA an upgrade from a buy to an outperform. To an outperform from a buy. Our price target is 650. Can we get there? And tech in general did very well. All right, so if you were on the live stream, you saw that earlier. We said, let's see if we can get to 250, or not 250, but 650, and we'll see what happens there. Tesla, this recall stuff is old news. Tesla did very well today. I think Tesla was up close to 4% today. Tesla had a nice move. I missed a few trades today, and I'm okay with it. I'm not bothered by it. I was reading the chat. I need to stay focused. So hindsight, right? Here's what I'm doing tomorrow. I analyzed, what I did today. I didn't get much sleep, but I was not focused in on a few of the assets I should have been focused in and consistently watching them. I was back and forth. I was kind of just, what's Apple doing? I took that position, and then I kind of just relaxed at lunch. And because again, my thesis during the weekend was coming in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those were going to be the 3 days where I put the pedal to the floor. But again, software application names, right? The Trade Desk, Snow. We gave you guys Snow yesterday or this morning. We've actually been on Snow for about 2 weeks now. We've been watching Snow, but, it's kind of been one of those where it's been lingering in the background. Square was up over 6%, guys, 6.17%. All right. Tesla was up over 4% today, just about 4.2%. So that was Tesla. And again, I told you guys energy was about flat. Losers, okay, PDD. So maybe these get a little bit of a bounce back if, I'm going to get into the charts because it's going to go into my thesis of the position I was in today. PDD, NTES, HPQ, ADM, your winners, Tesla, Estee Lauder, software application as a whole, right? What I just told you, Snow, the Trade Desk, GitLab, Square, Pins. Pins did really well today. So a lot of the ARC names, if you're not understanding like the Snow, the Trade Desk, GitLabs, innovation, right? This is innovation names. Let's go to ARK, ARKK. All right, ARK did pretty well today, guys. Look at the strength in ARK. So let's see if we get a day 2 continuation out of ARK. All right, this is going to be a pretty heavy level here. We're going to watch this level here at I like this. All right, we're going to call this 48.49. All right, 48.49 is what I'll be watching for ARK. And what I'm also going to do, all right, is I'm going to bring this in. I'm on a 15-minute chart here. It's going to be an area, all right? It's going to be an area. So I'll have to do a little more work on this. So don't, take this you know, I'm just doing this right now for you guys, and we'll watch. Does this turn green? Are we able to turn this green and get above here and end up holding and getting another day 2 continuation from 48.50 and try to squeak out, you know, another $5 and get to that $50 level? I personally wouldn't mind a pullback. All right, I wouldn't mind a pullback. You know, I would really like to see this level hold here at 47. All right, but you know, that's a beautiful double bottom. As a matter of fact, guys, this could be early in the game. We could have just identified a, you know, something that, listen, we're going to need Apple. We need Microsoft. We still have a lot of earnings. So we're going to need earnings. If this thing is going to push, if this is a true double bottom, which I got to pan out, you know, we need to really look. This is kind of a head and shoulders here, a reverse head and shoulders. I wouldn't consider it one, but it kind of is. Here's your left shoulder curling up, your head, your right shoulder. You know, you want to pull back to this area. But it already did kind of pull back today here. So I'm going to look at a pullback at $47 if we get it. All right. It's still going after hours too, by the way. It's still climbing the highs. We're going to know here very soon. All right. We're going to know here very soon. And again, if we do get on this, our target's going to be up here around $50 to $50.50. All right. You know, I'm going to have to pan this out. We can do it right now. This is a 15-minute chart. So, yeah, let's see if we can make some progress up here. I mean, we don't have anything stopping us. Once you get past $50, guys, there's not really anything in the way. You know, you got a little bit of resistance up here. That's probably where I should have put the target was $50, $49. But again, this is ARK, so this area, and then we get above here, and you're good, you're golden, in my opinion. Okay, again, this is all my opinion, that you get above $50 and you hold and make this support, guys. Watch out. ARK could be right back at $53, $54, if not trying to make highs. So we could have just seen today what this could be, guys, is rotation. You guys hear rotation a lot. When I was new as a trader, I didn't really understand rotation. I see it all the time now. When I sense it, I see when I scan the markets in different sectors, I will start to see that rotation. And now you're seeing it in the into technology, like application type of names, right? Your CRMs, your the trade desk for advertisement, and Square, you know, all these ARK names. So is this a double bottom, right? Oh, you have the 50-day right there, gang. Look at that. So let's see what happens. Can we break above the 50-day? This is my plan for ARK. I'm giving you guys a trade right now. If we can break above, pull it back, and solidify 48.50, and we can get through 50.50, I mean, hey, there's a 50-50 chance that we get this gap fill up here, and attempt to get back up to $53, $54, and possibly a new high. This is a good sign because the market did not have volume like ARK. Let's go to the SPY. And we're going to go right into the trades. All right. And what I'm thinking for tomorrow. Like, look at the SPY, right? Very low volume. Pretty low volume. Let's go to the Qs. All right. And all this is sellers stepping away. That's it. Sellers stepping away. And let's go look and see if we did reclaim it. The Qs had some nice volume. Better than it did Friday. Let's go to a 15-minute chart here. All right. So, you know what? I want to go to a 5-minute because I want to show you guys something. Like, when I'm watching something and I want to start seeing the indexes climb higher, I want to start walking it up. You guys will hear me talk about that a lot. Start walking it up, right? Level by level by level by level. If we start reclaiming levels, you know, that's what I want to see. So our first level was here at 424 area, 423.97, 424. All right. You had this ascending wedge that you broke out of, right? This is a 5-minute chart. Look at this wedge. Right, it broke out. It pulled right back to this level, and 424 is sticking, baby. Look at all those tails. Bang, you got your continuation. I wish I would have never left Qs. And it didn't stop. It didn't stop. You had your lunchtime consolidation. Let's see if we have a move to move. This is, in my opinion, where it started. And I'll just say right there, it went a little bit higher. Let's see if that equals to this rally that started right there. Nope, it went even higher because of Yellen. So, And look, the Qs are still going, guys. The Qs are still going. Wow. So, we're just continuing to reclaim. Now, look, if the Qs are leading, I'm going to be long tech this week, at least up until we get Google and Microsoft and, up until Wednesday. Like tomorrow, if we pull back and the Qs can solidify, which we did here after hours, which is kind of telling me we still may have this pullback here. I want to see if the Qs can lead. But again, you guys remember, Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Apple, they're all reporting and more. So this could all flip the script. Like everything is gravy, right? Everybody gets on board. We're all bulled up. Bang. 2 companies report out of the 4 or 5. And it's just like, and the other 3 or 4, do somewhat okay, but are expecting a bit of a slowdown. The market is going to price that in. All right. They are their own economies at the end of the day. So we're going to have to wait and see. And then we have Powell. All right, let's talk about Powell right now. Guys, I really feel like Powell is really in a position where they could start to get worried. You have a lot of companies coming out the past few weeks now talking about how they are laying off. And they are laying off. Usually the Fed wants to get ahead of that, right? They want to already be, like right now, pulling rates back. They're not pulling rates back. We're still holding higher for longer. You're getting layoff after layoff after layoff after layoff after layoff after layoff after layoff every day. Every day there's news. All right, and this number already is higher than the initial jobless claims. Like if I went through and added all these numbers up, it would be higher than the initial jobless claims. So does Powell lower rates Wednesday? An unforeseen tale. Does he surprise the markets? Guys, we also have, remember, I told you guys Sunday and Saturday, we have GDP numbers, all right, from the other major countries like Germany, which isn't doing too well, Europe, all right, China's not doing too well. There could be this slow that, may start to worry the Fed. And you could get a lot of dovish talk that they may start with a 25 rate cut. I'm really curious. I have not looked at Fed funds rate. I am just saying, let's see what this data is, guys. GDP growth year over year for Germany, they're expecting -2, forecasting -4. Yes, it was negative prior quarter. Maybe it ramps up because of the holiday. France, okay, they are same ordeal, flat. This should only catch up to us, possibly, all right? Europe, GDP, quarter over quarter, year over year, all right? Is this headed our way? We're going to get JOLTS, job openings, okay? Consumer confidence, which is, we can all look at consumer confidence, but, did they ask you guys how confident you were? No, I don't think so. And if they did, cool. What do you think? They haven't asked me. Inflation rate year over year for Australia. So we're getting a lot, okay? And just consistently, again, you're getting these layoffs that are being announced. And the Fed's got to get ahead of it. They got to get ahead of it, all right? So I feel like the thing that is going to save them, all right, I don't know when the next Fed meeting is. I'll have to look. It's probably either in February. I think it's in March. It may be in February or March. I have to look. But my point is like when these companies are announcing these layoffs, it's, they're going to start them. It's like, we're letting y'all know, like, this is coming. It may take 6 months. It may take a year. But we are laying off. Okay, so now is the time where the Fed needs to start getting ahead of it. Does Powell cut 25 Wednesday? Does he? It would not surprise me if he did. I know people are saying everything is great, grand, and wonderful, but the Fed's got to get ahead of this. They're still at 5.5, higher for longer. We're getting layoffs. The layoffs are coming. So, guys, don't be surprised if they lay off. And here is the question to that. Here is the conundrum, a word that I never used in my life. All right, here is the conundrum. Outside of Apple, Microsoft earnings, okay, we could be in this whole situation. Let's say a scenario. If the Fed were to cut rates Wednesday, 25 basis points, doesn't mean much. We're on to something. We've started this process. We've told the markets last Fed meeting, we're pausing, we're going to be looking to cut a little bit later. We're kind of waiting for these CEOs to start laying people off. Labor market, price stability. They're uh, the two goals that they want. They have wanted the labor market to soften. The CEOs have come out. They have given them that. They are starting that process right now. Second, how does the market take that? Okay, does the market take that as bad news because they're like, oh shit, the Fed has done too much? The Fed's nervous. Should we be nervous? Does this mean the soft landing is out? Has the soft landing, according to the Fed's actions, kind of say we might get a little swervy on this landing? Things are okay. GDP's okay. Well, that's because, there's a lot that goes on in Q4. You're coming out of the summertime. You're going into fall, which has Halloween. You have holidays that are picking you up. You have sports. There's just a lot, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. So a lot of people are doing things for the most part. And the labor market's been soft. So these people have had money to enjoy those holidays, enjoy football games, and go out to stadiums and do this, that, the third. Does he give us a 25? Does he? I'm serious. The amount of layoffs that we're getting, if they do not even start to hint at like, yeah, guys, we're going to have to attempt to start getting ahead of this probably next meeting. All right. I doubt you're going to get, we need to see more data because they got it. They've gotten literally the CEOs from just about every company. They've gotten it from the majority of companies that's saying we're starting to, we're going to start pushing back our employees. These labor market numbers, these jobless claims should start to ramp up in the next month to 2 to 3 to 6 months, right? You're going to gradually get into it. Does the market take that as the Fed was late on cutting rates when the market told it last summer and last year, last winter, last summer, last spring, hey, we need to slow things down. You're going to crash. Okay, we are still at 5.5%. We've gotten an announcements of layoffs. I know I keep repeating that, just like I hate to repeat hitting that like button for us. We're just trying to get to 15 likes. I know we can do it, guys. I know we can. Even if you don't have a YouTube account, just hit that like button. I appreciate you guys. And if you guys could, please subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, I'm looking to get a double-digit or triple-digit gain this week. I am. If I do it, I do it. If I don't, I don't. I'm going to keep it moving. But I'm just saying I want it. And I'm going to work my ass off to get that, guys. Are you going to be there with us? We trade right here live, Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. All right, let's talk market. So that's what I'm watching for the Fed. Fed funds rate can be where they're at. I'm just saying there is no way that these GDP numbers start to come out from other major countries, what China has going on, all these layoffs, and the Fed doesn't think about a 25 basis point. The market had said, hey, we're thinking about 6, but everybody thinks we're crazy. Maybe, the market knows the CEOs and their thoughts about them, with things contracting and CEOs saying, we are going to start laying off because we got to start saving money and the time is coming. Okay, these rates are starting to show their face. When I first, real quick, NASCAR, good to see you. And I'm going to read the comments in 1 minute. But I told you guys last year, remember what I told you guys? I said around March. All right, I told you guys about a year and a half to like 14 months, 16 months. And I remember on this live streams, I repeatedly had said, if you want to understand a little bit of how, institutions, or I'm going to leave institutions out, but from the way that I gather it, individuals, how do they go about trying to factor in rates, all right, and how they would play an effect with unemployment and all that stuff. Okay, you gotta get your hands dirty and do the work. I had always went back and I showed you guys from Fred. I matched up Fed funds rate and unemployment. It was an average of 14 to 13. It was like 12 to 14, sometimes 16 months, just a little over a year, about a year and a half, right? Where they started to cut because a year and a half is when that labor market from the last rate hike. Now we had a lot of liquidity that's kind of held us up a little bit. We borrowed a lot of money, so we're seeing the layoffs. Okay, what I'm trying to get at too is if you have, let's say last June, right? We have 5 interest rates, right? We have, let's say if you use a year basis, or you use a year and a half, or you are a 2-year lag, right? So that would mean in a 1 year. If you are a 1 year equation, okay, we are, let's say we're at 5%, right, in 1 year. And then last January, we were at 3%. That would mean we still have 2% to go. All right. I'll have to do this on a live stream to show you guys, or if it's 18 months, right? Where are you? Where were rates then? How many do we have now? If rates last year at January were 3% and we're at 5 right now, all right, and you are a 12-month, 6-month, or not a 12-month, but like a 12, 18, 2-year person, go back, see where rates were. If you believe in 18 months, go back to see where rates were at 18 months, and that's how much you have still left to flow. Quote unquote. It's not perfect. It's not like a true tried thing, but that's how some of them do those things. And right now, there's a lot of like little equations that you can learn. And you know what? That's what we'll do tomorrow on the live stream. I have a list of like between inflation percentage and GDP and all these other little formulas that they use with velocity. We'll cover some of that tomorrow. After I get my charts done, I'll write some of those equations down and do a little bit of work to get them together and help give you guys a little bit of education. I am not a financial advisor again. You need to seek a financial advisor. I'm not, some person who's went to college and did this, that, the third. I know how to read a chart. I've learned how to trade the markets. That's about it. All right, guys. So I appreciate you guys. We can do it, guys. I know we can. Just hit that like button real quick because I got some cool ideas for you guys right now. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Apple real quick. Apple, I gave you guys yesterday long off the 50-day. Well, it just about broke the 50-day. Let's go right to Apple. Sorry for that noise. All right, Apple. All right, here is Apple. So I said yesterday, and look at that tail. I don't think this trade is over with, and I'm going to clean these charts up. These charts will be cleaned up tomorrow. I said, let's get long off the 50-day. Right here at this area, 189, 190, 191, right off the 50-day. Let's see if we can get long Apple. Let's see, that's not on. So I was looking to get long down at the 50-day and see if we can't take it back up to like 195, right? That's a $3, $4, $5 move depending on where the entry was. Well, we pulled back and we wicked off that 50-day moving average. Now, if I take us to a 5-minute chart real quick, it looks like Apple did not hold. And I said, I wonder how many people are going to attempt to look for a gap up tomorrow. Okay, baby, hold on. I think she wants to go out and the door is shut. Okay, sweetheart. So I said, like it was an idea. Like these are things that I don't do because it's not certain. Let her out 1 second because this is a trade I did today and something that, look at it. It's pulling back. I was short this name. Oh, this coffee's nasty. I grabbed a Wawa coffee while I was out at the pet store. So far, my thesis I switched my game plan up. This pulling back after hours, right? Looking at the S&Ps, we went to the Qs, right? What are the S&Ps doing? They're going higher. You sense the divergence there, guys? That's a real nice long tail on a daily chart. We got to get long Apple. Let's look to get long Apple, guys. It bounced right off that 50-day. Well, SPY's making new highs, and Apple turned itself right back around. I gave myself a little time on this, all right? So when I got short Apple, okay, where was it? Where did I get short Apple? I'll have to look. I know about where it was. I know roughly about where it was. All right, because I got an initial pullback right off of the level. And then because I was using 1 minute and 3 minute and all that fun stuff, which you'll see here, this is what we will use. when you join us live right here on this channel. Oh, that's why that's NVIDIA. AAPL. All right. So what I did was I got short. Right at the 50-day. It's so weird because this looks like I don't know what. I'm going to show you guys why I did what I did and why I stopped myself out. Okay? Because I almost got long this name too. I almost got long. I just about got long because of this level here at 190. Or yeah, it's like 189.93, this whole tail area. And you got that real nice reversal off of it. All right? So I ended up taking the short, I'm pretty sure, was like right here. Right? We got up into the 50-day, and depending on what chart I was using, I was sensing, I was like, I'm going to know pretty quickly if we're going to get this rejection, because what I was looking for was at least to get back to that pivot low right there, right? To just try to like see, guys, look at the weakness. Okay, look at the weakness on Apple. Look how it just came down and sliced that 50-day. Didn't even, just acting like it wasn't there. It had a little tiny bounce on the 1 minute. This is a 1 minute chart. Earlier in the morning, I was watching Coinbase, and I was waiting for Coinbase to make up its mind whether it wanted to go higher or lower. Coinbase volume was really low, right? From like 9:30 from the bell till like 10 o'clock. So I'm watching Coinbase, and I'm like, I go to Apple, I look at Apple, and my brain literally was like, yo, this is what it looked like right there, guys. Right here. Literally right there. You got a double top at the initial morning low area, right? Looking to curve and make that area resistance. Why didn't I get short? I'm like, well, in real time, trying to hurry up. I'm like, is a 192 to 191, 192 to 192 to like 190, even 191. That's $1. Do I really want to take $1 short on Apple? Like, it's a little bit of money, but I'm also wanting to focus on Coinbase. So I didn't take it. I didn't expect it to just crush through the 50-day moving average and show a sign of weakness. Now, because I tried to search and see if I could find news, like was there a downgrade? Was there some reason why Apple was pulling back like it was? Right there, I had an opportunity for the most part to get short this name. I almost put it on, but I went back to Coinbase and wanted to focus on Coinbase because that was where I felt like, which was going to give us the dollar amount compared to where it was. And this is how I stay profitable. And this is the lesson. To me, I would much rather have a Coinbase like $4 to $8, like a $6 to $8 move on Coinbase than I would a dollar move on Apple. Even though that's still it's an alright move. You catch $1.52, $3 on Apple. That's a nice day. As you can see here, like Coinbase had really low volume, so I wasn't sure. Like the average volume in the morning Friday was 110,000 shares. In the morning, guys, look, we only had like 42, 50. So if we got like 75, if we had 110, I'm like, man, are we just going to trade sideways? Is today not the day? And literally, as soon as I start to focus on a 50-day rejection on Apple, literally Coinbase did that. Literally, I left Coinbase right as it started to turn that area right here into support. No big deal. So, Apple, this is how I make more when I'm right than I lose when I'm wrong. Because Apple, I ended up having to hold this. And this is a lesson on being good at losing. If you're new and you can't sense, because if you can't sense price action, right? Like, I can't sense that this thing's going to pull back and give it to me. So, technically, my stop loss has to be up here. Like, that 191, 192 is where I want it to be short at. If I'm going to short this name, it's at 192. I'm short down here. I'm in a no good position. This is rookie stuff here. All right. We get this rejection here, right? And I take the short. We get the pullback. And I told you guys I didn't take profit because I wanted to give this thing time to come back up, possibly reject this area of like 191, 190.68, 190.70, or even like put in a double top, reject the 50-day, okay? That's this red box. It ended up going all the way up to the 50-day. I sat and I waited. I'm like, okay, it has not bounced. We start going higher. I'm looking at this area. This is up here at the 50-day, right? I'm looking at this area right here, guys. I'm like, I know. I don't know. Again, I don't know. But right there is like, I'm like, okay, we should at least get a pullback to that area if we're going to continue to climb higher. You want to climb higher, pull it back to that level, climb higher, pull it back, climb higher, pull it. Like when I say walking it up, if this thing's going to be strong, it should walk itself up. Well, you have no support here. You have no buyers at 190.80. Also, what else do I notice? Look at the volume. All right, where are the sellers at? The sellers are right here in this area. So I got to give it a little bit of room. Well, guess what? They come in. Guess what? Where did I say the sellers were? They were right here. Why do I know that? Look at that increase in volume through the 50-day. This increase in sell volume should tell me that this is going to be a resistance level. Let's go to the 5-minute to make sure that that volume was accurate. I'm trying to hurry this up. Why? I don't know why my charts are doing this. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why they're doing this. So, yes, look at the increase in volume through the 50-day. And then you got another sprout of volume right here at the 50-day to get it started. So I know my sellers are up here. Up here in this area is where your sellers are. Let's see if those sellers turn to buyers. So what I did is I waited for the pullback. And that short idea is also telling me right. Just because I said to myself, 192 is where I need to be short. That's above 192, like above this pre-market high, is actually my stop loss. So why am I getting short way down here? It's a stupid rookie mistake. The point that I'm trying to make is you may not be good enough to do this, and the fact that it doesn't have to do it. What does it not have to do? It does not have to pull back. So this rally on the loss that I'm down, it could continue, and that loss could get bigger. I did not come in with a full position size because I'm worried about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm worried about AMD. I want to trade Microsoft, Google, Apple, and just the whole tech sector. So I am not going to get myself discouraged over a trade because my focus, I know, is later in the week. So I'm just going to put on some small trades until we get the big boys. I'm going to get my levels, and I'm going to put my foot on the pedal. I got this pullback, and it was a nearly break-even trade. Nearly break-even trade, and this is why I am able to consistently pull money out the markets profitably. This trade could have went higher. You could have had this bull flag right here, and it break out. Well, guess what? What am I noticing? Look at the volume, guys. Look at the volume up above that 50-day moving average. Look how low it is. Look at this volume here. Right? Look at this volume here. Look at that. Look at that volume. And it goes higher. You have a little bit of an increase, but that's still low volume. And then look what we have there. That was my sign. I'm like, okay, I should be good. We're just hanging out up here. Guys, I sat through all this. All right, I sat through it all. It pulls back, and as it pulls back, I took it because I'm like, if it's going to go to 192, I got to take it off now. And it was a very small loss. I think I entered at like, I got not this week's, but I got next week contracts. So that also helped. Right? I didn't put too much pressure on myself because I bought an extra week out. Because my plan is to not do something Monday and Tuesday so I'm discouraged Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Because my plan is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're gonna be on top of our game. I want a triple digit win. We can get it. I miss Snowflake. I miss Coinbase. It was one of those days. And guess what? I ain't dwelling on it. I'm not dwelling on it because I know I am going to do my damnedest and pick my spots this week so that I come out on top, and I traded the markets and the markets didn't trade me. All right. Again, if you're new, don't just sit there and hope that it's going to pull back. You need to have signs. You need to know what you're doing in order to have that confidence. You need to have yourself set up so that you don't get your ass busted if it breaks out off of this 50-day. Just because there's low volume doesn't mean a news couldn't drop. doesn't mean that somebody could have covered their short and wham, that just we get a candle that's crazy high. So that was my. I wanted to go over on that lesson about being, yes, Philly Sox, SMH. Yup. But, we'll go right into those. They had an okay day. AMD was down a little, or at least it's not, may not have been down, but it put in a lower high. Nvidia ripped, but the ETF, we'll look at it. So this is a lesson in understanding what it takes, because you guys are understanding that I had to work to lose appropriately. If you're in this thing on a weekly, guys, I'm telling you right now, you were down. You were down money if you didn't give yourself time. If you over leveraged yourself. I'm saying this because if you guys ever follow my trades, I try to give them out to you like in advance. The night before, I told you guys, look for this pullback long off the 50-day. Guess what? Looks like that's going to change. And also understand that they have earnings, and a lot of the names that you may or may not play have earnings this week, so you're already going to be paying more in option prices. So if it pulls away on you, you could either, you might get lucky and gain from that, or you're really, you could get hurt. So understanding how to lose appropriately and your mental capital. A lot of people bring that up, mental capital. I went smaller on this position, and I gave myself more time. I didn't get discouraged. I ain't getting discouraged because I own this. I'm going to own this week. Trust me, guys. I'm going to own this fucking week. I don't like to cuss on here, but I'm finishing this month out strong. I will not let myself fail. I won't let myself fail. I promise. I promise. So, Apple is pulling back, guys. So I would, I'm not really focused on Apple now. Maybe if it gives us a shot tomorrow. I feel like, this thing should still, I feel like, we might have a 187 test, right? You might find yourself pulling back down to like 186. All right. It's really oversold on like just about every chart. I don't know if there's like news that's going to come out other than the earnings, but just, I don't know, guys. I really feel like this is a nice tail though. All right. 180 or 190 was a really nice tail, but it looks like you see this resistance here on 192. Look at that resistance, support. Okay. This is all at 192. I wanted to hold 192 and bring that 50-day up to it, meet there, and go long. We're going to see what Apple does, guys. If we get another shot at 192 and 192 cannot break, I will be short Apple. All right? And that's probably before earnings. And again, I want to see if we can get back down to like, 187.50, 186. That's a pretty big move, but we'll see what happens. You haven't tested this area down here at this like 186 area, right? 186.50, or no, that's 187. I'm sorry. So 187. All right, that's a minor support level. This whole gray box. So let's see if we get down there and look at the manner in which it was selling off on the daily. I don't want to spend too much time on this. That's why I'm talking fast so that we can get through this. And again, please, guys, just give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already done so. All right, that's that. So this level, 192, is not support as of right now. Maybe it reclaims it. I don't know. But if we get to 192 tomorrow and if you're not on the stream with us, I will be short at 192 if we cannot break up through there. Looking for a little trade just to bring home the bucks. All right, Coinbase had a beautiful day today. We talked about this the other night. I was not one way or the other. Okay, I wasn't one way or the other. All right, I was like neutral. I was like, I'll let Coinbase show me what it wants to do. I understand, it's a bit oversold. We need to see what Bitcoin does. We have the 50-day sitting up there, so chances are it gets that bounce, goes right up to the 50-day. But I know that this level, 137.50, 137 area, is a pretty decent level. I traded this Friday. I was green on it. So I kind of am taking last week's price action, and I can kind of feel, or at least I had an idea through the trading of last week with coin that, this is a nice pullback. If we can get another, I don't know. I don't know what to do with Coinbase. I really don't, guys. You know, it pulled back a decent amount. So if you can continue to hold this area here up at like 130, then maybe you got another shot to 140. It's going higher after hours. I'm not going to fight the move, but I would like to get a pullback, guys. I almost went long at 128. The only reason I didn't is because the morning volume, like once it went down there and tested 128, it kind of consolidated and the volume was really low. So I was just being patient. And when we got that uptick in volume, I was already on Apple, looking at Apple, unfortunately, and it happens. It is what it is. So, no big deal. I'm honestly not worried about it, all right? We still have 4 days. 3 of those days, I'm going to be ready to rock and roll. And you see that real volume came in here up at like, 10 o'clock, as I was over on Apple. All right, let's go through some charts real quick. AMD. I'm looking at AMD. All right, it's going to be I'm really curious how this earnings report goes, all right? The actual earnings themselves, and then what do they say on the earnings call? Because they have large language models that they're going to be bringing out or are already bringing out. I don't know. I'll have to relook. So, AMD closed just above flat, okay? It was up 0.3%, while the rest of the majority of the sector did pretty well, like Nvidia. I'm going to watch 180.50 tomorrow on AMD. Maybe I put a trade on this. I don't know because of the IV. We'll see what happens. If I do put a trade on it, I will not be holding it into earnings. All right. It's a little sketchy trying to buy something on a day of earnings because it could just like not really move. Like you'll see a lot of volume, but it'll just like, it won't give you like the move. I'm gonna wait until Wednesday to trade AMD. And how does this go on to the semiconductors? What does this mean, their earnings for the semis? So let's go into like some of the names like Square and like ARK. I already gave you guys ARK. We're gonna be watching it. We'll recover that. And remember, you guys had a lot of biotechs today. All right, Moderna. All right. Let's go look at Square. All right, so Square had a really nice day today. And what's funny is a lot of these names are on their lows. Okay, they're on their lows. So, it's coming up to resistance. Can this strength continue? All right, it might. You might get a few days out of this, but you got to remember, as soon as Microsoft and Apple report, guys, you got to watch for them to either, just do what they do. At the end of the day, pretty much the market is reporting in the next couple days. We'll look to see if we can get a pullback. If Square gives us a pullback to like 67.50, 67.45 area, pretty much I want to look for a pullback to the 50-day right here. All right, that red line. If you guys don't see it, it's right here. It's up at 67.50 area. And if we can, you can get a 67.50, maybe you get a small long to $70 and try to break out into the gap. All right. The chances though, it's like if it breaks $70, it'll break it and then either pull back the same day or next day and then go for the gap fill. So you'll have to give yourself time. All right. ARK, let's talk Tesla. Tesla had a nice rally today. Had a little bit of a rally. This is another chart that I want to clean up. And this is a really this was obviously it wasn't too bad of volume. 190.95. I want to show you guys something on a 4-hour chart here, okay? You can see here on Apple, or not Apple. Why am I saying Apple? All right, you can see here on Tesla, if you can see it, how this level right here, okay, this level right here, I'm going to just draw it out for you. You have a few levels here, and I already have them marked. You have this level here, which is resistance and support at 190 area. All right, right there, pretty much your middleman. No. All right, so we'll make it a 2 so you guys can see it. But your real resistance, starts to be up there. All right, so you have a support level up here at 199, 200. The real, I'm not going to say the real support, but this previous pivot highs are up at 209, right? 210. But we have, we have this area here that I think if we get to 205, does it start to turn around? All right, can we go 2-3 weeks out and get, continue the downside on Tesla? We'll see what the volume looks like as we get up there. I wanted to bring this to your attention because, this is a support and resistance zone at 195. Okay, 195, you have it. But again, more importantly, this area right here, I feel is the most important level. All right, and that is 189. Okay, well, it's 190. I'm sorry, 190. So if Tesla pulls back to 190, I want to see if I can catch a long and ride this bad boy from 190 to like 199, 200. All right, that is my idea. All right, so I will watch Tesla, depending on if it has a gap up or not. Okay, I want to see if we can get back up to 200 bucks. That's 205, pretty much 200, which is in that gray area, because that's your gap fill. We're starting to get into the gap. All right, and you know what else I could do if we go to a 4-hour chart? Again, I appreciate you guys. Hit that like button, subscribe. It's going to be a hell of a week, I'm telling you. And if you're not there, you're not there. Guess what? When we come back on here and talk about our triple-digit gains that we have, that's what's going to make my day even more so, guys, is being able to help you guys identify the opportunities that are out there, right? Just being able to put ourselves in the right place. It's like, to me, is one of the most important things. Let's pull up a 4-hour without pre-market on it. All right. Another one was Meta I wanted to talk about too. This area up there at 200, guys. I think Tesla's going to 200. If you can get a pullback and it holds, I want to look to see if I can get Tesla up to 200 bucks. I feel like it's prime to get up there. I know there's a lot of lines here, and I apologize. I got to clean this chart up. Honestly, I would like to get a pullback to 187. I doubt that happens. Tomorrow, if we are able to get a, test, we got to see where we're at. I don't know if we're going to get a gap up, gap down. It's up right now, but that don't mean anything. Honestly, that don't mean nothing because anything could happen. So it is solidifying this level. It's already at 192, 191.50. So it looks like it's going to 200, guys. It's going up for that gap. And these guys have made a lot of money short this name. Trade ideas, though. What else? What do we have here? So let's go to Microsoft. Microsoft had a kick-ass day today, especially at the end of the day. You guys can see here that a lot of these names ended up, doing really well, like right after the Janet Yellen news, that they weren't going to borrow much. If they don't borrow much, that means yields don't go as high, right? So Microsoft is just, look at the after-hours move, guys. Unbelievable. Microsoft, I'm not even looking at it. Let's go look at Meta real quick. And another name that I want to keep on watch, and again, tonight I'm doing more work on this, so I have some more ideas tomorrow for pre-market that we can look at and trade. Look, Meta, we're ripping. This is why it's important to not fight the trend. All right? To not fight the trend, right? Look at Snow today, guys. I was late on Snow, and I just couldn't get it, guys. I couldn't get it. It's all good, though. I'm not stressing. All right? Because if we get a pullback on Snow back down to 208, I'll be long and looking for high a day, 215. My instinct, guys, on Snow is I feel like, we have earnings coming up. But I want to see if we can get up on this daily chart into this gap fill. I want to get up to like 215, 216 area. And we're still like a little ways away from it. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I want to look for 215, 216, right? Right up here at 215. All right, Snow. I'm looking for a pullback. All right, I'm looking for a pullback and look to get long on Snow. If it gives me another shot at like 206, that'd be cool. It may not. Everything is running right now. 208. We'll see what the European markets do. Meta was strong. I want to watch Netflix. Netflix is kind of just hanging out here. And is it going to go higher with the market? It's kind of just struggling. It was up 1%. What are the other ones? I have not looked at Amazon, so a lot of these names I'm going to have prepared tomorrow and look Amazon ripping and running. So the big 7. So if you guys think about buying calls for earnings on these names, understand that they have actually ran a whole lot and ran even more today, and who knows where they open up tomorrow and what they do tomorrow. All right. I mean, guys, for right now, that's about it. Roku, if Roku pulls back to 93, like this 50-day area, and can hold at like $93, like that area, I might look for a long on Roku, depending on the market, because if ARK continues to go higher, Roku is a name in ARK. It's got resistance up here at $96 though. But if we can pull back and for some godforsaken reason we can get a pullback to 91, I'd like to be able to take a long. It's an idea. It's oversold or it's overbought. I take that back. But again, trying to think. Back in the morning, I open a long queues again. If we pull back in the morning or open, I am long queues again. Nice. Damn right. Hey, don't fight the trend, Ziggy. Keep it running. All right. Just understand that, you can, you just keep an eye out for news. That's all it is, right? Be ready to take your profit. Look at the Dow. Remember I gave you guys this really nice setup that I completely forgot about. Look at the Dow end of day. This was a really slow day. Put in a nice little double bottom. Put in a nice double bottom right there. And then you just, again, I think Yellen really set this thing off, because you guys got to think, like, and I was saying it, that we weren't seeing much because of the amount of stuff we have. You're not going to get a ton of positioning unless there's a reason. Okay, guess what? We got the reason in the afternoon for the most part. We had a few sectors that were being bought, right? We had a few sectors that were being bought. But it really wasn't until Janet Yellen came out when the overall markets as a whole really, ended up doing what they did. All right. So you can thank Janet Yellen. She really helped the markets out today with what she said. All right. With them spending less money, that's less yield. So, rates don't go higher. They stay where they're at. They pull back. But anyway, the Qs, dude, that'd be awesome. If we could pull back, that would be awesome, right? We'll see what happens. Hey guys, I'm ready. Again tonight before I go to bed, I'm running through a whole list of charts. I understand what we have here, so don't forget some of the names that ran. Okay, I'll go over it again with you so you know real quick, like what names ran today, and you really had that software application and technology infrastructure really go. Like semiconductors went, but like. Not like some of these names. Like, look, like, you had NVIDIA go, really. NVIDIA, ARM, and that's it. Everything else was like 2%, under 2%, right? NVIDIA was 2.3%. ASML was 1.75. ARM probably had the best at 2.4. But look at SQ. It was up 6%. That's obvious rotation. Look at Path, UI. That was up 6%. All right, so we notice this. We take action on it. Workday, Uber, Shop, CRM, and these are. And what's funny is we can sense that this isn't surprising, because this is the only part of the market that's been lagging. So let's lift this market up. If this sector goes, and now we're starting to see the overall markets like headed higher. And you could get these sectors up to like the middle, because you have Meta, Microsoft all up at highs, making new time highs. Then you have some names below it, like healthcare, like UNH or whatever, that are like just under all-time highs or just sitting up there consolidating. And then you have like some names are in the middle, but then you have these that are below the middle, and like you need them to get up to that middle part. Like if I pull up a daily chart of like, let's just look at like what was the one? Square, right? Like, let's pull up a daily chart of Square. Let's go to SQ real quick, and I'm going to show you what I mean, because this is a healthy market where you can go higher. Like, look, it's still on its lows, guys. Some of these names, in order to have a full healthy market, the market needs to move together. So this is the last layer to that cake to start getting some liquidity, start trying to bring some of these names higher. And I thought we seen that rotation today. That's the trick, right? Buy high. I just said that. Buy low, sell high. I told you guys last week I seen a little bit of profit taking, right? A little bit of profit taking. The big, the big seven have just ripping and running. They're just getting bidded higher because that's a safe asset for the most part. Like safe as in they're liquid, right? Institutions can get in and out. They can get in with big size and get out with big size. All right, so now they're going to start putting a little bit of that capital to work in some of these names that are at their lows. So maybe we think about possibly owning them ourselves. All right. Energy, we're going to wait and see what happens for energy. If we could, please, other than liking, subscribing, the non-important stuff like that, like it's important, but, pay your, just understand that there were some service members that got killed today or last night. All right, over in the Middle East, trying to just do their job and be able to, do what they're told and bring these ships in and that whole situation in the Middle East. So over the weekend, a few service members were killed. So please, just, whether you pray or not, I'm not saying you do, but just understand that this has happened. They're not at home. They're not able to be in the markets and do what they want. They're out there fighting for us. So let's not forget that. All right. They lost their lives. They're not able to see their family members again. They're going to be coming home in a casket, serving their country. What are you doing? What am I doing? Okay. You guys have a great night. I love you guys. I thank you guys so much. Please, if you guys could, get me to 15 likes. Like, it would be such a joy. I got to 10 today. I'm going to take my selfie with my 10. I'm going to take it. All right. You guys got to learn. If you guys are just trying to do anything in life, man, take the small wins. Take it. Keep your head up. Keep pushing. All right. Things will come in time. If you keep pushing and keep getting knocked down, keep pushing and keep your head up. Keep going. Right. That's all I really got, guys. The markets were kind of quiet today. Janet Yellen woke them up. We saw parts of the markets that were on their lows starting to get bought up. Keep that in mind. I love you guys. You guys have a great night. Guys, join us right here tomorrow morning. We're going to have trade ideas. We'll go over the news. American Airlines laying off employees. Does the Fed pull back yields this Wednesday? Do we get a 25 basis point? It wouldn't surprise me. Ziggy, I love you, bro. You have a great night, bro. All of you guys, peace out. Have a great night. And remember, there's some people that aren't making it home tonight.